I was lucky enough to be able to interview this candidate, Graham Platner, who is running in Maine in the Democratic primary. He announced really recently getting ahead of 77-year-old Maine Governor Janet Mills, who the powers that be in the Democratic Party are trying to get her to run. She would be in her mid-80s at the end of her 6-year term, just a heads up. And like Maine Democrats the Democratic Party has had a horrible read on the state of Maine for a long time, in part because the apparatus is really not equipped to mount a campaign that isn't like milquetoast and consultant driven, but also that is tailored to the needs of rural communities. This is a larger problem within the Democratic Party that has caused an exodus of votes of this kind from its ranks. And it's been deliberate. As Chuck Schumer said in 2016, they're trying to pursue suburban Republicans, and that's been their focus. And those means that, largely suburbia outside of bigger urban centers and not focused on some of the less populous, wonkier states like Maine. So it's just such a breath of fresh air to get a guy like Platner to come out. He's anti-genocide explicitly. He's pro-Medicare for all. He is talked about how Jane McAlevey is an inspiration for him. He is working with some Zoran staffers, some former Bernie staffers, and now he has had such a successful, flawless campaign rollout here that you have people, at least, I don't know, these might be supporters of his, whatever, but they're going to Susan Collins's events. And she was at some ribbon cutting, ceremonial thing, and she got heckled by the crowd. And whose name is coming up here? It's not some of the other Democrats who have jumped into the race, who maybe we'll get into, who have some consultant ties. It's Graham Platner.
Shame! 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 Shame!
If you would let me celebrate.
Oh, please. There's no celebration. No celebration during this.
So could you just...
You're not so slim yourself.
Could you please just listen for just one?
No, you never listen to us. You never listen to your job.
Listen.
Your votes destroyed our Supreme Court. You refuse to have town halls with us. We are listening to us.
For a moment.
Why are you funding genocide?
Could you just listen?
You have voted for our Israel every vote.
I have a suggestion.
Okay, all right.
Would you listen to this?
Vote Graham Platner.
There it is.
Yeah.
Would you listen?
All right, we got
That's
it.
right.
I was wondering when
Manic
that
at the
was
disco
coming.
hall.
But hell yeah. Fun to see.
The wait
these
was worth it.
Yeah, what'd you say? It was worth
The
it to
wait
wait,
was
I
worth
know.
it. The build-up was great.
But it's I could, like branding with the cops getting pulled over for DUIs stuff, I could just play a mixtape of Republicans getting heckled at these town halls and it would be a lullaby for me. So I enjoyed every second of that regardless. This is over really like the big, beautiful bill that is going to disproportionately affect rural communities. You saw Trump a few days ago at the White House say, we're not going to call it that anymore. We need, because it doesn't tell people what's in it. It's a big tax cut, right? That's what he's trying to now rebrand it as. And the problem with that is that, one, you called it that over and over again. And two, you're a little bit concerned, I guess this isn't a problem from our perspective, but that it's not polling well. that means he's getting numbers internally that shows that people are really pissed off. And this is an article from like a local paper in Maine showing that basically there's going to be a significant decrease in resources for SNAP and Medicaid for folks, and let alone the rural hospital closures that disproportionately need Medicaid to survive. States like Maine are going to be impacted by this, and they don't even need to wait until after the midterms when the worst of the Medicaid cuts start to happen, because hospitals that operate and are already at negative margins or that have very little money, and if you're a rural hospital, that's likely the case, they're going to start shutting down in anticipation of this coming around the corner. So
the hospital closest to Grand Platner's town is already shut down.
There you go.
It shut down already.
There you go. But that was encouraging to see, at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, they deserve it for sure. They deserve worse, but I mean, this is the least that they deserve, being confronted.
It's sort of like call for can I speak, or can we have a discussion, or can we talk, by people who are not there because they've been persuasive to the wider community, but because powerful people want them there to pull levers. It's insulting.
Yeah. And on that Maine race, just to point this out to people, there are other candidates in the race, including this guy named Jordan Wood. Now, he's been the executive director. Dropsite did an investigation into this, of two different political action committees associated with this group, Mothership, which, if people remember, Sam had Adam Bonica on the show a few weeks ago. This is the company, or that is like the junk fundraising text company that sends out a bunch of fundraising texts to help Democrats, and that Adam did this analysis that showed that at most $11 million of the $678 million raised from individuals has made its way to candidates, meaning it's a fundraising efficiency rate of 1.6%. This is a guy who's deep in that really like fraudulent, shady, maybe is a better word for it, because it's not been explicitly accused of fraud yet in courts, but regardless, fundraising apparatus on the Democratic side that I just think makes people even more jaded about politics, because they're basically being taken advantage of, and that money isn't going to candidates when they need it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it really is a system that genders a lot of distrust. And, you know, I think our politicians tend to like just want the people who are being subjected to these kinds of campaigns to just get over it, like get over all the demoralizing, disenchanting things that you're subjected to, that convince you that voting or getting engaged is not worth your time, or that you're being scammed and wasting your time, and just get over it, as opposed to them doing something that would like show that they care about like preserving people's impression of the system, not just the letter of the law.
Hey, for weeks, all we've heard is how Trump's big, beautiful bill will cut Medicaid. But almost no one's reporting on a buried provision that would make Trump untouchable. Go to ground.news/majority to see how this bill would block judges from enforcing court orders, unless you, the citizen, post a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most people can't actually afford to do this, and that's pretty obvious. So if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't even matter, and nobody even knows, which means the GOP's flood the zone strategy is working, and it's why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the news the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first article they see online as fact, their browser extension is essential. What it does is it flags the source's bias and links other credible reports to verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got you 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's just $5 a month when you go to ground.news/majority, scan my QR code, or redeem the code majority if you're using the app. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.